Yo, what's cracking? My apologies for taking so long. I just want to know, do you guys check when I post stuff? I'm going to share people's material. It's a little bit of CLP. I'm going to shoot a lube. That's what I need. Anyway, I went and shot a little bit. It was nice. I went out just to plank, 25, 50 yards. I gotta have the spices. So this is the jalapeno. This has got a little bite to it. I ain't want no Carolina Reaper and I ain't want no habanero. Habanero right here. And I got a vegan, Annie's vegan, organic, no sauce, artichoke, and it's got cayenne, it's got a little iodine, salt, and garlic. Because right now, a lot of our people are having problems with blood pressure that never had it before. And we're talking about people that didn't even get the jab, the hokey pokey. So what's really going on? Anywho, other than that, so I shared a brother, he's out of New York, out of the BX, hometown, and check his live out. I shared it at that time. I know people are doing things, everybody's busy, I know that. Kiramio had a live going. Robert Roshan wanted to talk about this pale skin motherfucker who drew Gilbert. I understood what the dude was saying. I really don't give a damn. It amazes me people are so stuck on all that stuff. Let me show y'all. Yeah, semolina. I forget everything. The barley. Hell, if I had added a little cane sugar, I probably could took all the ingredients and made some goddamn good white lightning with some prunes and raisins. But other than that, I like the young brothers who are the people who are coming into the foray. I haven't listened. I've actually been hyping up more and more the fact that I'm gonna be tearing people anew behind. Why? Because they're lackeys. Why is it that you go and read a book, but you've never been to any of these places, you never sought these places out, you never took the time to take some of that good that you were making to go and research and see these things, nor even in this time? Why would I sit there because somebody's reading a book and become respondent? Other than those who are doing genealogy or realizing that names, there's another place for it. And I think Navi Poe is touching on that really good. Now, everybody else who I've given material to and helped or showed them or expressed something, they've taken it and ran with it and built a platform to which that is not what you do. See, what they tend to forget is I'm very strategic. Like, I am never going to tell y'all everything that I know. I don't know that much. I know very little bit, but that's why I can say the majority of y'all really don't know shit. Excuse my language. You don't. I don't care what you think. Because the moment you start knowing something, you start putting it into practice. If I'm telling you to go in the mirror and make eye-to-eye contact, I'm telling you to learn how to breathe. I've read many different books that express that. There may be one out of 80% of you that got involved with a little yoga, even on YouTube. There's plenty. Tai Chi. But I know you haven't, because you're full and obsessed with everything that's going around you in the now. But you're not being in the now for self. This is not a beat up moment. This is not a ceremony of all ceremonies to say, boom, I dropped the hammer. It's not what it's about right now. Obviously, I would love, my wants are my wants, but I need for people to snap out of it. So, that's got a nice little spice to it. And to, like a self-promissory note, to be adequate in self. You know, some people want to believe they know who I am, how I talk. Look, in colleges and outside of college, I wrote more. I don't even want to go into that because it's not a competition, right? Literally every day on Gmail, I have people from certain publications and stuff. Did you write this, Mr. Branch? Because I've donated many of my poems to the American Poetry Society, which they don't pay you. The poems go in their books. They've got a grand library of millions of poems. And I have hundreds, if not thousands, in there. And then I write, like when I did Paper Sons, talking about the 1800s, the influx of those escaping the Boxer Rebellion. And they were when I say my Chinese cousins are darker than me, bro. So y'all don't get it. I have been privy to a lot of things. Like my mom and my uncle have a different father from my other uncle and aunt. My Uncle Reggie Lee and Sheila Lee have a different father than Johanna Lee and Gary Lee. Okay? The issue at hand is that we lived in a world totally different and obscure from this pile of fecal matter that we are involved in. I can't say living in this. Some of you perhaps so. But we exist in it. And only we can change that. Look, I'm about to be so-called 57. I need to carry myself as such, right? 57 is young, people. We used to live centuries. I'm serious. And you don't know that because you allowed them, without knowing, to create this which you see now, which is murdering us in our youth, aging us and everything else. If that ain't enough to cause an outrage, Oh my God. Only thing I'm eating, I just thought to have this because I mean, you know, I had to get a couple curls in and a couple of chin ups. My neck's stiff too from doing that. But anywho, and I put these pumpkin seeds on it. Oh my, it's delicious. But I'm gonna be going after these pages. I'm gonna be going in there in their lives. I'm gonna be asking them, what do you mean by what you just your statement? I'm gonna literally create enemies to people who are never really friends in the first place. You know, when a person wants to build a platform, but they're not sincere, I check everybody's notifications and everything. But now I hold people accountable, changing their names, listening to idiots who don't know how to carry themselves appropriately, because you got dumbasses who want to show their penises to people and all the other dumb stuff who have a mental issue and don't want to address it with better food and better health and better conditions, but want to run around as if they're normal. Certain men and certain women to retaliate against that individual, but instead of having a light in you to see that there's something wrong, to be able to speak appropriately instead of ha 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 ha. It shows that talking about being a thoughtness, you don't have the right, and it's not a privilege to be able to talk about something you cannot illuminate. I would like to see somebody challenge me on that, so I can smack them with the thesaurus of information, and only have to look on one page in my damn head, in my head. And this is just delicious. Usually I'm like, I eat in the bed. Get your ass. It's all mine. I was watching Magnificent Seven. And then The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I was not going to come on in, but I was like, I'm going to read a little bit of Africanus Abe a little bit. But, there's so much more we can do, y'all. I know some of you sitting there going, yeah, I know I'm powerful, but how do you know it? How do you know you're powerful? I would like for somebody to give me an example how you know that you're powerful. I would love somebody right now to say, I am powerful because of this. Oh yeah, I can go and teach. But they wouldn't want me to teach because I correct all this nonsense they pushing. I teach a lot of these youth what fascism or Marxism really is, how it came to be, what was used for, and the fact that this government is a fraud and always has been. Well, think about that. Let me chew this up and swallow it, and we're gonna go ahead and get a little docile in the reading. Remember, we're on chapter 8. That spice went and tickled my tonsil. I thought I was going to sneeze and cough at this same. You hear it? Same time. Anyway, let's go ahead and get it. I really appreciate it how it comes over. And I appreciate those who actually, with solidarity of self, actually pay attention and go, okay, I'm digging it. All right. Hey, what's going on, rap? You just popped up. Who's in there? Hairball, what's cracking? Milky Hill, peace, brother. What's going on? Round up, APJR. Yeah, right. Talk about it, bro. Yo, FA, talk about it, man. And now they're even admitting, I gotta say this again. They're admitting, remember they were saying that it was passed by the alphabet group? I don't want to say the name. They didn't even test it. They just wrote it through. Now Dr. Fauci's in silence. Fauci, Ouchie, Gucci, Gucci, Fauci, whatever. You know what I mean? Look in Florida. What was it, about 2 months ago? Some goofy ass Cubano police officer and some dumb pale skin mug arrest a Marine and fought for this fake ass government. Cause without them guns, he would have whooped their ass, both of them, in no time. You can see it. And he was being very polite, but there was no ordinance by the Saudis for them to even be doing it. It shows how stupid a lot of these costume characters are. They become corrupted from the inside out. That's why you see that up there as a thumbnail. And why I'm reading this. And why I'm talking to you the way I'm talking to you. Well, because I love you. I really do. I don't have to say I really do. You know it. You can feel it. Okay, anyway, here we go with Abraham Africanus. Alexander Del Mar, John F. Feeks and Company. His secret life as revealed under the mesmeric influence. Mysteries of Franklin House. I'm not calling that W House no more. I am never calling it the W House ever again. If somebody's having a conversation, you going to the... No, nigga, what's with that? You talking about the Franklin House? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to the nigga house. Anyway, the friend. A long time elapsed before either of them spoke. It was a singular scene. Upon a chair reclining at his highest or greatest length, his feet upon the hearth, his hands in his pockets, his head resting heavily on his chest, his hair disheveled, his cravat awry, and a general air of smuttiness, and a general odor of liquor pervading him, sat Brown. And he was a drinker too. Still dreaming, still snoozing, still in the mesmeric state. Affixed. And yet so strong in his self-concentration, so fixed in his self-estimation, as to be capable of being indifferent, in spite of his stupor. At the exposure of his own words had made of his ridiculous boast and his miserable inconstancy. It's not inconsistency, it's inconstancy. There sat Sue, turning the keys over in his trousers pockets. I hate when people jingle their change in their pocket like that, or keys. Oh, thinking what a fool he had been to lift such a man into power, and at his own expense, and to his own great shame. There Stentor, too, weighed uneasily the poor chances that remained of his longer holding office, and stretching his legs out under the table, put one hand to his waistcoat arm, and with the other fumbled at his watch guard. Cheese lustily rattled a pocket full of specie, and in parentheses it states, he was the only one that had any hard money about him, though the others didn't lack paper. So as far as change, specie. Ain't that some And that was end of parenthesis. And passed the time with glancing uneasily at his three companions, probably distrustful of them all. And at that time you carried silver and gold, if not half. Has changed. Stentor was the first to break silence, and Sue said, tell us a story to while away the time. Don't ask me, Stentor, my boy. I've told so many different stories in my time, and none of them seem to answer, that I despair of ever succeeding with another. Ask Cheesy to give you a song. He has a fine, rich voice, sweet as a siren's. He sung so sweetly at the New York Bankers 2 years ago that they haven't got over it yet. Cheese, thus called upon, begged to be excused, said he was no singer, only knew one song, and didn't like to sing that on account of his disunion tendencies, and so on. Pooh-pooh, said Sue, and Stentor in a breath, we don't care anything about its disunion tendencies, as you call it. Disunion. Union and disunion, okay? So you have to get it. You don't suppose we are such asses as to believe in the political nursery trash we preach, do you? It's a nursery song, said Cheese. Go ahead then, boy, said Sue. Stenton nodded in an additional approval, and thus fortified Cheese, he cleared his bagpipe and thus began. Sing a song of greenbacks, pockets full of trash, overhead and cars in debt, and out of ready cash. Heaps of tax collection, as busy as a bee. Ain't we in a pretty fix with gold at 63? Bram's in the White House proclamation writing. Meade on the Rapidan, afraid to do the fighting. Seward in the cabinet, surrounded by his spies. Hellick with the telegraph, busy forging lines. Cheese in the treasury, making worthless notes. Corton at Harrisburg, making shoddy coats. Dahlgren at Charleston, lost in a fog. Fournet under Bram's chair, barking like a dog. Shenek down at Baltimore, doing dirty work. Butler at Norfolk, as savage as a Turk. Sprague at Rhode Island, eating apples sass. Everett at Gettysburg, talking like an ass. Banks out in Texas, trying to cut a figure. Beecher in Brooklyn, howling for the nigger. For Bram. I'm just saying, lots of abolitionists making such a yell. In comes Parsons Brownlow and sends them all to hell. Burnside at Knoxville in a kind of fix. Gilmore at Sumter, pounding at the bricks. That reminds me of all the cities buried underwater. 27, y'all, of our grand cities. Anyway, pounding at the bricks. Grant at Chattanooga, try and brag to thrash. It is any wonder the Union's gone to smash. Bravo, bravo, encored their friends. Cheesy, my boy, you've a mellow voice and a fine vein of humor. You say I had altogether too much humor if you know how cheaply I let that countryman there, pointing to Bram, chouse me out of the nomination on last election. Returned Cheese, secretly flattered at the compliment, but chagrined at the reflections it suggested. At these words, Sue began to pick his teeth. Stenter commenced spitting tobacco juice at a keyhole. It seems to me as though that man had the devil at his side, continued Cheese. So he arose from his chair and advanced towards Cheese. Cheese, said the secretary, I have the same belief myself, and I have more than one reason for it. Stenter, who had been crossing himself with pious vehemence, now got up and turning to Cheese said, and I, too, have heard strange stories about Bram's friend. And I, chimed in Cheese. Suppose we exchange ideas and tell each other what we know about it. To this they all agreed, and resuming their old postures, they first wet their whistles, then satisfied themselves that Bram was still unconscious. And Sue, setting an example, began telling what he knew of Bram's mysterious friend and patron. That's all I wanted to read. So did y'all get that? Oh man, that's just beautiful. But anyway, Beecher in Brooklyn. Look Beecher up. Beecher in Brooklyn. Howling for the nigger. Banks out in Texas trying to cut a figure. Beecher in Brooklyn howling for the nigger. That means to get him back in office. But we know that he hadn't been murdered yet, and he would have surely won. Let me find something here. "26 Ann Street, New York, Lincolnana, and Press, Lincolnania are the humors of Uncle Abe, second Joe Miller. That reminds me of a little story, President Lincoln. Price paper 25 cents, cloth 50 cents. J.F. Feeks, publisher. 25 Ann Street, New York. Book first of the prophet Stephen, son of Douglas. Book second of the prophet Stephen, son of Douglas. We know who's making papers then. We created the print mill and all that. You forgot. And I'm not going to read it all. I don't see the necessity in doing so. I will read this all at the end. The Washington Despotism dissected in articles from the Metropolitan Record. When it comes to newspapers of old, I am well versed in them. I used to be at the library before they became digitized, going through so much microfilm that people used to look at me and go, this guy is crazy. He's been here for 13 hours and then he hasn't stopped and he keeps going and getting more and more and writing. I would have one of those little cow-looking notebooks full with information in 12 hours. I mean, completely full, and I would always bring 2 or 3 of them. The notepads. So I can sing pretty halfway decent, and I wouldn't mind singing some of these songs, but I don't know the exact tone as to how they are rasped, if you know what I mean when I state rasped. They're sung and what frequency or what high, low, or whatever. So again, this is something else, man. And when I saw it, I was just amazed that you have these niggers and these niggerish teachers. This is the act of Congress in the upper year 1861 by J.F. Feeks. This is seriously 1861, y'all. This is all this. And when I tell people that Lincoln was one of us, regardless of where his parents may have come from, because it didn't matter in the past. That's why I have no problem saying people in so-called Africa, Mesopotamia, which is up north and south, lower Libya or Ethiopia, because before it became Ethiopia, it was Libya. All those are kinfolk. Now, they've been saturated and jacked off just like over here, but not so bad over there, because over here is not that bad. We just have a lot of dumb-ass people running around who don't know no better. So what was the name of the movie that I shared with y'all? An actor? Year 1942. Why are they doing that now? Oh, they knew what I was looking for? They just pulled that up and I never typed that in? Wow. Oh, I need a bite, y'all. Hold on. Y'all know I like the Rat Pack and all that shit. Yeah, artichoke on a pizza with spices and peppers and mushrooms and onions. Bellissimo. Unbelievable. What was the name of the movie? New York City, 1942. Remember, it was Bing Crosby, right? Well, I just wanted to show you an image. This is about Abe friggin' Lincoln. Now, I know you're going to have a hard time with it. I want to get a good one. Because every picture they paint of Abe Lincoln has been a blatant, downright obscurity and lie. Because they don't know no better. Oh, here we go. Hold on. You're going to like this one. Oh, well, what did it go back like that for? Okay. Remember now, the pictures they use of Abe, I've found 4 different ones. And you have to do, if you have the capability to do an over inlay, and you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. That's a good one. I want to make sure she's in. Where's she at? All right, here we go. I found it. Now, I have some already downloaded. I wanted to pull down one I saw a little while ago. Why? Because I found it very important. Let's go ahead and pull it up. That's why. Get out of here. All right, now down here is all the ones that I have. They're at the bottom. I can't hold it up because I've got pictures of certain individuals who have been hacked up, like chopped up into pieces. And I don't want to get into that. I need to get rid of those pictures. I mean, I do art. I still draw, and anatomy is very important. So not to sicken you. All right. So this is Abe Lincoln and his wife, Bing Crosby, 1942, Holiday Inn. Remember in the message, Holiday Inn. If your friend starts acting up, you know what I'm saying? It's always been a message, even in the old hip hop. Abe Lincoln and his wife. And you see how the wife's hair has got the so-called buckwheat, like our statue that is thousands of years old, that they have you believing that it came from France. Just like the slave boats, but yet they were taking pictures throughout the Civil War. But where are all the ships that should still be in existence, even floating at that time? But people want to go for civil rights instead of understanding that it's civil liberties that which we require the most, and an unleashing of their lives because they do not own nothing of the land. Until people come around and realize that, well, we're going to be right where we're at. And most Bellskins think they actually bought some land. How you going to buy something with debt that you have no ownership because of paper? Because you are a slave to them when the majority of us know we're nothing to them. Hell, what they pay us in retirement and everything, they can times 100, and they can still never mitigate by that damn fiat. And unless it's in gold and silver, and that's why they deal in treachery. That's why you see what's going on now, and they're speeding things up because they knew what they knew when we wake up because they've been watching, and we don't care. Now, you Pelicans and some of you wayward Negroes are going to be stuck right where you at. Not my problem. It's yours. It's yours and yours alone. I'm gonna give some shout outs. I'm gonna get the fuck off, and I'm gonna get a bite right in front of you. Fuck you. Oh my God. Y'all know me, I like to cook food. You know, I make my pies, they cook, they're sitting up on the oven, they banging, shepherd's pies. All vegetable. I do have ground lamb in the freezer. I ain't feel like throwing it out. It'll be for somebody else. Very electric. Oh my goodness. Let me go ahead and... I'm sorry. My apologies for not reading everything. But like I said, I've been running in and out. And I watched the Western because I really wanted to just watch me some good old Western. And that's what I did. I watched some Westerns. I enjoyed them. Give some shout outs. Rondo, what's going on, family? Herbo, you already know, brother. Bubba Bell, what's cracking? Hey, BJR, number love, family. Hey, what's up, Suso? Michael Hill, peace, brother. Carl, what's cracking, Kimpo? Yeah, it's you a couple days, man. Lloyd, what's up, my beloved brother? Gray Wolf, you already know. Don't believe all. That's where he eluded from. We worked at Illinois, but nuh-uh. Like, yeah, that's right. Yeah. basementrex.com. I'm going to have to look at that after I get off of here. Hell yeah. I wonder if I can copy that. Let me see if I can copy that. I can actually tap on it and still stay in here. Just go to the side. No, I'm going to go and look at that later. Sing Abraham, a song honoring Abraham Lincoln birthday in blackface. Yes. Because they're dressed like him and the wife with the crown, like the Statue of Liberty. That's on a star fort. Surrounded by a moat. You know what they call that place, right? People don't want to believe the truth. It's not my problem. You leave the wire alone. You're just being so young. He is. Ed Anderson was Grand Elevations, hun. I'm about to sign off. 39 minutes, I think this is a good time. And I want to eat. Listen to a little bit more of the Gregorian chant. And I appreciate everybody coming in. Love you all. You already know. And to my beautiful beloved sisters, Jay Davis, what's going on? To my beloved sisters and to my brothers, I am